Hello, this is an example of a thing description of a motion sensor. Thing descriptions contain all the IoT sensors, devices or services which are under a specific vicinity adapter. As we can see in this thing description, the first thing that we specify is the adapter ID. The second thing that we have to specify is the description of all the things which are under this adapter, so all the devices or services. In this specific example, we're going to see the description of a motion sensor. As we can see, it contains an infrastructure ID, a name, a type, which is actually a mapping to the vicinity ontology, which defines specific device types. In this case, it is a motion sensor. It also has a version, and as we can see, it has building and location information. Building, it is located, the building space, it's an office, the city, and the country. Moreover, it can have one of the three interaction patterns, or even all of the three interaction patterns. In this case, it is a sensor, so it cannot have actions, and in this specific case, it does not have events. So here we can see the definition of the properties of this motion sensor. It contains a longitude, latitude, and its specific values. So the signal of motion, if it's on or off, if it detects a motion or not, the temperature, and the luminance. As we can see, its specific property has also a mapping to the vicinity ontology. Vicinity provides a simple way for validating a thing description. All you need to do is copy your thing description and then use this simple request in order to validate it. As we can see, the thing description, which contains only one object with ID motion1, is valid. In case there was an error, it would be indicated here, so that you know and you can correct your thing description. Moreover, vicinity provides a way in order to get all the possible annotations you can give to the devices, services, or interaction patterns. By using this request, you can get the service types, the possible interaction pattern types, as for example, device temperature, or baking time, or GPS altitude. As you can see, they are allowed, but in case there is a property that is missing, you can always communicate with the ontology group in order to add your specific property. As we can see, it also has the possible location and building information that you can enter in the thing description. And also, it has the possible device types, as for example, door sensor or water flow meter. In case that you have a device that it is not described in these annotations, you can ask again the ontology group in order to add your specific device in the ontology, so that it's possible to describe it in your thing description.
Before concluding this session, we would like to remark some parts of the thing description which are really important. The first one are the location ID that we can specify for the building, city, and country. When we register several things that are located in the same place, and by place we mean city, country, or building, we must specify always the same location ID. In this way, we will be always able to retrieve all the things that are located in the same place. For the location of country and city, we suggest always to use the URLs extracted from DBpedia, which is a semantic enhanced version of DBpedia. In this case, this sensor is in the city of Thessaloniki, and the URL for DBpedia is this one here. Something similar happens with Greece, which has this URL in DBpedia. Regarding the buildings, we suggest to use the official URL of the building if this has one. Otherwise, we suggest to use a fake URL, but always use the same. Otherwise, we will not be able to retrieve, for instance, using the semantic interoperability services of Vicinity, all the things that are actually in the same building. On the other hand, another important part of the theme description is this one here. This one allows the semantic interoperability services to access this device and translate the information to answer queries. In this case, imagine that we could have this payload in our device. To solve this and specify that the value that we are interested in is this one, what we need to do is in the theme description specify under the key name the JSON key that has the value that we want to output. And in this case, also the predicate will state to which component of the ontology are we making reference, in this case core value. And finally, in the schema we can specify the type of data we are exposing. Another field we could have created using this one could be the timestamp. In this case, we should write here timestamp and here core timestamp as well, and in the type core timestamp. Having this mapping specified, if we go back to our payload, when the semantic interoperability services try to access this device automatically, it will somehow translate this JSON into RDF information in which the timestamp of this JSON will be equivalent to the core timestamp of the ontology. The same happens with the value. So, summing up, what the theme description most important elements are in the locations specifying the ID using URLs, and in the properties specify the values from the ontology that has to be mapped with the payload of the JSON.